Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Levi. I'm the founder of Dynamic. We help accountancy and financial firms work smarter and not harder. We leverage AI to automate processes, streamline workflows, and enhance client communication, and much more. This is the podcast, The Balance. And today I'm with a very special guest. Bayode, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. Could you quickly introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about who you are and what do you exactly do?
Okay. Thank you. I'm excited to be. I'm happy you invited me, Levi. My name again is Bayode Agbi. I'm the founder, CEO of PillarCraft Accounting. PillarCraft Accounting is an arm of my traditional accounting firm called Agbi Bayode & Co. We provide businesses with outsourced accounting services and cloud solution implementation, leveraging now on a lot of AI also and all the new technology out there. We also recently developed a cloud accounting solution specifically for SMEs in Nigeria and Africa, looking at the markets and what are those unique needs that fit into that market, especially payment gateways and those things that maybe international solutions don't really cater for in Nigeria. So it's nice to be here, Levi. Thank you.
That's nice. Well, thank you so much. Good to have you on again. Could you tell us more about your journey? Because now we know what you do, but how did that all started, and how was the journey so far? How did you get to where you are right now?
So interestingly, I started out in public sector of Nigeria. I started out being an accountant in public sector, but somehow I always wanted to have an accounting firm, but when I was in public sector, the challenges were not there. It was not really as I wanted. And so in 2010, trying to clear my head, I went to do my master's in London, in UK. And that was when I got exposed to the confluence of accounting and technology. Luckily for me, the accounting firm where I was working were actively providing outsourced accounting services to businesses. And that really intrigued me that this is this possible, and the possibility of it really now became open to me. And so I returned to Nigeria to basically found a firm to provide those services to people. Yes, when I returned, it was still at the infancy stage. Even in the world, cloud solutions was still very young, around 2014. But COVID changed everything. When COVID came, remote working became a thing of everybody wanted to do. And then cloud solutions became, the fashion, and the entire processes became better. And so we developed a lot of the cloud solutions and started to partner with leading cloud softwares across the world. And so we are partnered with a lot of sector-specific cloud solutions in Nigeria across the world to provide it for Nigerian businesses. So that's basically how it all went.
Okay, nice. And right now for you, what is the biggest goal or the biggest thing with PillarCraft Accounting that you're working towards?
So the North Star has always been to provide businesses in Nigeria with a world-class solution, but localized version of them. Because one of the things I've noticed is that the African market, is not really being catered for by most of the solution. We actually use a lot of the, should I say, Western solutions and try to adapt it to Africa. There are a lot of needs that African businesses have that most solutions are not doing. So the North Star for PillarCraft is leveraging on cloud solution AI at the moment to provide those world-class services to businesses so that they can actually scale at the level that they should. Because it's always been my opinion that the major difference between a big firm or a big company and a small entrepreneur is data and usage of data to make decisions. So once data is available and they're not flying blind, it's easy for entrepreneurs to scale. And that's one of the things that we are about in PillarCraft.
All right. Oh, that's cool. Okay, and the ideal situation, where would PillarCraft be in 5 years from now?
So what we're building in PillarCraft is to be one-stop hub for businesses, both for technology as a technology support, advisory support, risk averse support, and all that. So in 5 years' time, we know we'll be playing big in the space, but we become more sectorized, specialists in various sectors. In the past 3-4 years, we've become specialists in retail, manufacturing film. We actually acted as Netflix accountant in Nigeria and manufacturing. So we want to really stay in those areas, providing that level of in-depth advisory, leveraging on AI, because I've said many times that the where AI is taking us to right now is going to change the entire role of accountant from being the bean keeping or bean counting to majorly advisory, because the repetitive tasks can be done by AI. Bookkeeping, we can actually automate all those things right now. The agentic AIs are around to make these things work out. So the role is going to definitely change. And PillarCraft, we are looking at the horizon to make sure that as it unfolds, we are leading the pack in Nigeria.
Yeah. And you already mentioned AI a couple of times. That's also what we already focus on a lot as a business, and also what we help accounting firms with, like implementing it and building like custom tools and automations. What are like the things within your business in which you're really implementing AI, and how does that look like?
So for a start, because we are building a accounting software, one of the things we actually actively embedded in it is an assistant, an AI assistant, because we
Nice.
found out from the back end that 75% of the support requests are basic questions that people are asking, that repetitive questions which we can actually deploy AI to kind of follow through. And so because I have 3 areas that I'm actually actively involved in, and the challenges are different: the traditional accounting, the outsourced accounting and cloud solution, and then the SaaS of Usawa. Now, but for the traditional accounting, one of the things we are already playing around with is using blockchain to do auditing services, because at the moment, what we provide is assurance services of historical data. But the advent of blockchain means that real time, we can actually see how transactions are being done, be able to see is there any risk in this transaction based on the chain of data and all that. And then generally in PillarCraft, which is the core accounting services, we are leveraging a lot of AI in terms of removing all those repetitive skills from human being, pushing them into the agentic AI to pull financial and bank statements, do the bank reconciliation for the usual transactions, because like 85% of transactions of businesses are repetitive. If you know them first 1 month, you know that these transactions kind of flow through. So we are leveraging on AI to make sure that we reduce the human being and let the team focus more on providing advisory services, reviewing financials, and giving businesses very good advisory based on data they've collected. And in fact, yes, the large language models review better these days and giving better advice, So we are already deploying all those things in PillarCraft.
Nice. And are there certain things of which you wish there was like an AI tool, or that there was AI applicable that you're like still doing yourself, or like some manual task that you can't really like get AI to do?
Okay, what will I wish that we had AI to do? So in Nigeria at the moment, one of the things, hopefully by August this year, we don't have open banking, right? So one of the things that I feel that once we have open banking and we're able to get bank feed directly from the banks, that will help in terms of end-to-end automation of banking conciliation. Because at the moment, we still do the task of bringing in bank statements manually, uploading them. Once we have the open banking, which the Central Bank of Nigeria is actually giving directive to, it's going to become easier. So that's one of the things I'm looking forward to happening in Nigeria.
With the growth of social media, the growth of AI, it's cool that you're really looking into those things. What are like other key trends that you're looking into in the industry right now, or that you're like responding to next to, for example, AI?
Yeah, we've spoken about agentic AI, which is one thing we are actively looking at responding to in PillarCraft. But most importantly is the evolution of the role of accountants in businesses, going from the bank accounting to become the CFO support, really, is one of the things that we actually actively looking at. And we know that over the time, that will be the main thing. Accountants are going to leave from being just the accountant to become both tech support, CFO support, everything into one. And that's something that we know that will happen soon.
Yeah, nice. Okay. And for PillarCraft Accounting, what are like the biggest challenges that you're facing at the moment with trying to reach your goal?
So one of the biggest challenges is human resources. And I think most cloud accounting software, not just in Nigeria, all over the world, we face the same challenge. And that's why outsource accountants from some other countries is being used by a lot of companies in the UK and USA. So human resources, developing them, retaining them has been a big challenge in Nigeria. For me, especially in PillarCraft, because, like I said, I have 3 brands that I'm working in. Keeping customers' satisfaction consistent across this brand has also been a big challenge for us, which also comes back to the human resources, because it takes a minimum, from our experience, a minimum of 12 months to get a traditional accountant to evolve fully into applying and using tech. It's not just being aware of technology, it's not just being aware of AI, but applying them to the routine and tasks that you're doing. And in PillarCraft, because we are purely a paperless accounting firm, all the things we do are in the cloud. We work remotely and all that. A lot of accountants are still schooled in the traditional ways of accounting, auditing, and all that. So it's a lot of challenge for us. So it takes time for us to, breed the accountant to come into the level of accounting appreciation and usage to now become useful to us. So, and it's organic, unfortunately. It's not something that you can, snap a finger and they become a tech accountant that you wish. So you need to train, retrain, and also keep them, up to beat with the newest of it. Though we have an academy in-house, which we use to train people, monitor their development and all that. But that has been the biggest challenge. Aside from funding, though, I don't think funding is a big issue, because in PillarCraft, what we've tried to do is to build organically, as we grow. So getting the staff embedded is a big challenge.
And for your firm, what are like the most important values? What are the most important things that you really appreciate or really like think are valuable? Let's say your core values, and how do they show up in the day-to-day operations?
So one of the core values we are maintaining in PillarCraft is integrity, because we are first and foremost an accounting firm. And one of the major core values that accountants runs on is integrity. So, and that is how we make the team members understand that whatever we're doing, the first line is make sure that whatever you're doing is based on pure data facts, nothing of, no assumptions whatsoever, where it's not needed and all that. So we pride ourselves, and that's one of the main core values of PillarCraft, providing services with a lot of integrity, because that's a major currency accountants trading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's at the end of the day what like bookkeeping, accounting is all about, right? Like you need to speak facts and not just like say some things or like assume some things.
Yeah.
You need to look at the numbers.
Yeah.
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 All right.
That's fine.
For an accountant or a bookkeeper or anybody in finance or any entrepreneur that's listening right now, what would be your best piece of advice that you would give them if they are looking to grow, looking to innovate, or just looking to reach their goals?
So my advice would be, understand your process and ruthlessly automate them. Because one of the things I found out is that most entrepreneurs get bogged down in those repetitive process, and they don't have the time to work on the business growth, the strategy, the refining the processes, because they are usually engrossed in the day-to-day running of the business, from CRM to accounting to a lot of this segmental process. So I tell business as part of my role as even advising SMEs in Nigeria, is that identify your process, understand them, and ruthlessly automate them. As much as possible, remove those manual processes from your businesses so that you can focus on growth and even better get a better value from your manpower. I mean, your staffing. Because once they are involved in doing those day-to-day mundane tasks, you really are not getting the value you deserve from whatever you are paying to them. And sometimes even get boring to them to be doing those things repetitively. So if you want to go, if you want to scale, understand your processes, ruthlessly automate them. That would be my advice to you.
And that's a very good advice, I think. All right, Bayode, if people want to learn more from you, get in contact with you, connect with you, or maybe even like work with you, where can they best find you?
I'm on LinkedIn. Like my full name on LinkedIn, just type in Bayode Agbi on LinkedIn. You'll find me there. You can send me an email, bayode.agbi@pillarcraft.com. You can even find me on Instagram, the same full name, Bayode Agbi. Anywhere, just send me a DM or send me an email. If you are within Nigeria, you can actually call, or you can even call me from international numbers. It's 08033219619. If you're calling internationally, just suffix it with +234 and I'll pick your call.
Perfect. I'll make sure to also put the links and the phone
Yes.
number and everything in the podcast below so that people can actually reach out to you. Bayode, I really want to thank you so much for being on the podcast. It was a valuable podcast, very good insights, and it's also good to know a little bit more about your background, the things you're working on. And I think it's really admiring for you, like for me to see that you're already really looking into the world of AI, really looking into automating things so that you can focus on the tasks that are not repetitive, the tasks that you really like to do and really like growing your firm. Do you've got any last words maybe for the podcast?
I mean, first, let me thank you for inviting me. I think you're doing a wonderful job. We need more podcasts talking about what accountants do and the role of accountant as it's evolving, and also educating both the accountants and our clients, so to say. And so I really love what you're doing, and I want to really appreciate you and say you keep it up. And I'm a fan. I will continue to follow the podcast and watch it. And if you want to invite me next time to talk on other topics, I'm available. Thank you very much, Levi.
100%. Thank you so much, 100%. And we're definitely going to do that part too. Again, thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen at home, thank you so much for listening as well. My name is Levi, and this was The Balance.